this time around. Dodonut on the Raze, and you expect that to be the tip of the spear. You expect them to be able to play around her.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is the Breach with Raze is kind of difficult to combo on. Usually a Neon, sometimes I've seen the Yoru with the Breach, but the Raze, you can combo with the nade very well, but not the same speed. So let's see, coming through Art now. Jazzy needs to be prepared. She's got the wall out. Very, very well done. But they break it instantly, even with pistols.
Yeah, which is so much more difficult in that situation, but Jazzy's still able to keep back the aggression. Excellent opener.
Stunned up, though. We'll have to follow up, but look at this A-main aggression.
Yeah, Dodonut's got a lot to deal with. Yeah, she wasn't expecting a second. Dances around. Eventually just get cleaned up by Lace, who's looking for the third on the round, not able to deliver.
Oh, on site, though, MLE. Still got it going. Jazzy's all the way back in Flowers, trying to buy time for Claudia to come back through Art as well. And they'll re-clear Art, which gives them a huge advantage of knowing exactly how these players on the site are going to be playing.
The problem here, though, is Athena still has so much utility. Being able to play that from A-main is going to make it very difficult for Complexity to get some space.
They clear MLE.
True, you do, right?
Enemy remaining.
Well, never mind. Never mind the utility. It's all about the classics, and Claudia wins it out at the end.
Oh my goodness. Very hectic. Even after, I thought Complexity was going to have that in the bag as Jazzy fell back, but then the re-cleared A-main did not go so well as the pinch came through really fast. Well done from Complexity, finally cleaning it up on site, but there was definitely a moment there where MLE could have gotten both of those if the contact timing was a little better for her.
Yeah, I think Emily had a chance to do something there, and again, Athena had so much utility to play from A-main. She had a flash, she had an aftershock, I believe it was actually her fault line that had just come back up, so she had some tools to play around, but either way, not able to deliver. Now, because of Complexity winning that first pistol, they've got some guns they can work with, man. They have 2 Spectres, a Guardian as well. They have tools here.
Yeah, in the last game, you saw them get off to a hot start as well, but that was on their attacking side. They went up 4-0 right off rip. See, the same thing will happen here on defense. It was the attack for formerly CLG Red, now Moist Moguls, that struggled the most. They do have all the way up in control. I like this re-drone from Lace coming back up through Art, but she's completely isolated by herself in the Viper wall. She had to push through it to find anything, so little miscommunication there from Raze. Not putting that down in time.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for Moist. Yeah, they dealt with some of the aggression across mid-map, but they're going to rotate back A, and as you see it on your screen right now, there's this massive wall you're going to have to get through, and with nothing but pistols, well, Dodonut has a little bit of something. It's going to take a little bit of time, and more importantly, it's not going to be quiet unless they wait it out. I'm
wondering if Jazzy put this late in the round. Oh, they're going for boosts. Oh, just barely. Just barely, so going to knife it through. They still have the advantage here. And with that knife clearing most of our, actually Jazzy just got spotted by it. Oh, what a dart! That is huge!
Incredible! And the gravity wall too! They can't get out of main! But Athena's gotten it down. 1v2 here, she's able to pick up a weapon with 13 seconds left. She doesn't have very much time at all.
10 seconds left.
Coming around, trying to clear one player back, but it's Kara who cleans it up. It was scary there, it was hairy, but Complexity up 2-0.
I love the utility there out from both of the players from Complexity who stayed alive in this round. Lace and Kara. That dart was perfect for Jazzy. You saw her, even while she was sniped, she walked back in that smoke and was expecting that dart to find some tags, and it hit every single player. And still, Moist Moguls is able to do a little bit of damage there, and they've effectively canceled the bonus. And Complexity's gonna go for it. But you definitely don't expect with just the Guardian, just the Spectre, 2 players without any armor at all. Don't expect that they have a chance here. So let's see if they can cancel the next buy round as well from Moist.
See that Sage Wall going up again, getting Lace another orb, 1 step closer to the Hunter's Fury.
And they must have been farming that as well.
Yeah.
In the last round, I was curious when Jazzy was putting down that wall. And that was relatively early. So good cross there, getting away from Kara, who was just spotting. Now she's just going to jump spot back call, but they're walking down behind the pillar. This could be a really good pop, and I'm looking at that flank from Emluo. Good nade. Oh, she's stunned, maybe.
Kara's in trouble. Oh my goodness, there's no way. Sidesteps the fault line, gets the nade in her face, still gets the kill.
That execute is clean. This is double satchels. Coming in with the stun and the nade. What a shock as well from Lace. Again, pinpoint accuracy on this Sova utility. But the flank, this is what I was talking about. Lace got the ult, now can she find anything? Emily in the back hall, one tag. They're making it work here, Doug.
From there? Just so clean. Now Emlo having to clear all of the utility.
Turret's up too.
Cage triggered.
Got the cage. Right, cover the thing. It's going and Emlo gets both.
You forget.
The Red Bull clutch for Moist.
High stakes.
That is disgusting from Emlo. The flick onto the final player. Lace coming out of spawn. Look at this again. Again, the flank. Well timed to find them right as they're trying to run on site when all the Sovolt is going off. So she finds a kill on the back and then the 1v2, even when there was a turret up. Super crucial, by the way, that she got that molly broken. Otherwise, she was going to get half for sure.
I mean, the dart, the molly, the fact that Lace saw her as the cage was going up. Just insanely well played.
Oh, there might be.
They may be getting a little lazy here on this protocol, but she's flashed. The timing on Claudia, perfect.
Good experience there, discipline too, to fall back after the original pick. And you saw Dodona try to get really aggro. The wall actually broke it up for them. And this Viper wall as well, doing some really, really nice job decaying and keeping the rest of the players behind so that they could easily isolate that fight. So they're all the way back and completely safe in a 5v4 situation. Good start from Complexity. And speaking of the economic damage that we saw in the eco round from Moist, Complexity did kind of do the same thing. It was all brought down to that clutch by Emlo. So they're by while they still got Vandals, they still got rifles. It's definitely a lot more scrappy, less utility.
Braze is the only one here with a knife. I don't believe it tagged them. But she's playing around the corner and yeah, cleared out instantly.
Kara's playing all the way up top. Still gets the spam though. I thought she was going to get stunned and forced off.
30 seconds left.
But they keep it even here. Look at the util though, the ults that are still alive for Moist. They've got that breach ult, they've got the cosmic divide too. And both Emily and Emlua have gotten in a really good spot back in B-Link.
Early, but I wonder, yeah, how far up they scale. If they try to go for the juggler or they've just saved Athena's ult for post-plant. They aren't pushing up. They aren't trying to keep Complexity back.
And you don't really have to, you have plenty of time to get back into this after the KJ ult, because you have the breach ult. That's going to buy so much time for them to get back in. And look, Emily's actually rotated back over.
Claudia didn't get half. Claudia pulled off. It's still a 2v2. Ina has Rolling Thunder, has Fault Line, has everything. She can play this so easily.
That's brutal. She actually waited for quite some time there. I was surprised. I didn't see a gravity well from Emily. So I think that was definitely bold. She could have gotten to the half, and then obviously the breach ult's going to stun you anyway, so you have a good advantage in the fight, but that could have been a lot more dangerous. Still, well played from them. Again, they had those key ults that they needed. Cosmic Divide, that could have gone down as well if they really got into trouble, isolating the fight on the spike and forcing them to run through a wall without flashes. Reminder, that's the big deficiency in the Complexity comp. So we're already starting off really nicely here on this attack side from Moist. And they've buffered the economic woes that potentially could have befell them.
Dart cleared instantly. Complexity of set up shop in art. No one's headed for now.
Super quiet. And Athena does have that flash ready to go. I would like to see them clear a little bit more before even starting the execute. Maybe even go dry, especially in this situation. I could see the minimap, obviously, but against this low buy here from Complexity.
Cage triggered.
We'll end up popping the smokes, getting on site. That was right on the time where Complexity was trying to clear mid. Those shocks still finding so much value in the front lace.
Oh, they're pushing up. I don't know if gotten one with an aid. Pushing the pace. 3 members just on the other side of this wall, just on the other side of Geometry. Athena now has shown up, gotten the kill onto Jazzykins. And they've left Complexity in tatters.
They're all the way back. Claudia, though, snuck her way up. Race has also found the sheriff shot. Oh my goodness. It's
Dude,
flipped.
the Tatters work. The Tatters seem to be just fine.
They still have the grab. Oh, this is the shot though. Has to pull it off.
On his feet, 11 HP. This is going to be really big out of Emily. Emily with the first and not the second. Dude, we've already seen so many Frenzy and Sheriff kills in this map. I've lost count.
I mean, that one hurts.
How about
And you saw
I only bring a roulette
there, they
next
overstayed
time?
their welcome in Art. They didn't really clear all the way through. And that's what punishes them. Claudia on the late flank too. And you had really no play from Emily. I would have liked to see her be the one who stayed in A-main instead of Han. That way she could time her grab well a lot better and try to jiggle peek instead of just guessing. But some nice shots. And again, Lace, that final shock is so good. That's the what takes down Han. That's the A-main player. They don't even need to push up there and they can hold for the spike. So again, complexity. Lace is doing so well on the Sova. And that's not really a popular pick on this map, Doug. This one is, it has some popularity in some EU teams, for example. It's been tried and tested. But to see it here, and it performs so well so far, is a good testament to Lace's skill.
A ton of value found in both the utility from Sova and in the pistols. As Donut gets an opener with the Sheriff.
Yeah, that was nasty. Both players jiggling there, and Donut just finds the perfect timing. They still have the coverage of the alarm bot, though, from Claudia, so I'm surprised to see anybody even peeking in there. And they've actually rotated to a more traditional Viper wall because of the KO that's up in the hands of Han.
Yeah, and that's also why you see Claudia playing so far back. And she's in spawn.
She doesn't have any volleys on the site, though.
Standing ahead.
Alarm bot. Maybe that's enough. Either way, she's choosing to keep her distance.
And you saw where the dart landed there from Lace. That got so much value earlier.
Yeah, yep.
30 seconds left.
Now, with time short, you see members of Complexity are starting to rotate out. Perhaps thinking that the rotate was coming through, yeah.
It cleared, but they didn't go deep enough, and they were right behind. They really thought that 20 seconds was enough.
That's done.
Oh, I thought Athena was going to die by the spam. Oh my gosh, Claudia! That was filthy!
That is nasty for Claudia. That is absolutely disgusting.
Won that back!
No, you don't deserve my
And that's why she's a legend. That's why she's a legend in the scene. It was such a big deal when she originally joined up with the top teams in the Game Changer scene. And now on Complexity. My goodness.
Dude, the fact that there was just a pause, just enough of a pause to reset the spray and then track the player jumping across the screen was just gorgeous.
And that's got to feel good for Claudia, too, to get off to such a hot start. You saw how aggressive she wanted to be at the beginning of this game, and this is against her former teammates on CLG, so very happy about this and her start. She's got the Killjoy ult now. Saw one round where she was able to use it already, and we're only on round 7, so as a Killjoy player, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that helps when you're farming, though. I think she's like 10-3 at this point. 7 rounds in. She's feeling it. She's having a good time.
These attack side woes from Moist. See if they can fix it up in the latter end of this half. That's a nice knife. That's a good lineup to clear all the way through sewers. Doesn't find the KJ though. Claudia's waiting for it. They have the anti-strats, either from the last series or just watching this team in general, because she fell off so that she could dodge that knife.
I was wondering how many ults they'd want to invest here, given where we are in the half. They've already used one. Either showstopper, and I don't know that Tornado's gonna find anything. Yes, she does, but it's traded right back. 4v4 here further out. There's still a couple of ults for Moist.
Alright, KO's gonna be top now. Fighting through. This is bold. The Jazzy's slow is perfectly placed.
Complexity have just done such a good job at holding them back. Now they have a numbers advantage, and yeah, the spike is down, but they have some time to think this one through.
And they're gonna go for a res here too.
Claudia also has ult. You've got some options here, but instead they go via the personnel route.
That's
Cosmic
fast.
about keeping them back, yeah. Now Athena has this utility that we were just talking about a couple of rounds ago. They hit her the tap. Laces on the other side. Jazzykins has gotten it to happen. Athena's gonna have to push the pace, but she's not gonna swing it at the right time. And the defuse is stolen for Complexity.
That aftershock was just shy too. That one hurts. It goes through all sorts of things. But it just was shy there. That is so unlucky. Because that would have definitely bought some time for the players to jump through that wall. But good usage of the ults there, using the res and finally getting that value out of Cosmic Divide from Kara. Just instantly jumping on that spike. And we're back to a little bit more of a default setup here, the Complexity. The one that they were running early on. Just swap the wall still. And they've buffered against this KO ult, so that's why they're going right back to the earlier stuff. Moist has really been investigating this A side. They've gone for a lot of A splits. They've gone for a lot of A main pushes. There's been one round where they've gotten the spike down on B. And it was off that stun nade, the double satchel in the back.
And Kara did receive it last time. We'll see how it plays this time around. Yep, Kara good for another 2. The third, as it's just too easy.
Got a reactive ult as well from Raze. They timed that really nicely to actually give Kara the opportunity to get those kills and then also fall back into the Viper's pit if need be.
Yeah, very well played. Moist with 2 pistols left in the round. And they're being zoned off, sectioned off, and Athena's gonna try to get the spike down. But having to deal with the pit, maybe Emlo can show up at the right time and help a little bit, but the Sage on the other side, they're being cleared out. He just got a big one. That's the hit! She's so weak. 6-2 in favor of Complexity. And Ball, I want to go back to the hit that we were talking about on backside B. Because remember, like you were alluding to it. The last time we saw that hit, Kara got pushed further into backside, and then got the kill on the double satcheling Raze out of Dota. And this time swings back out towards site and still gets 3. She's been able to handle that aggression on multiple occasions now.
And multiple different ways too.
Yeah.
The first one just dodging out of the stun, dodging away from the nade, and receiving it head on. Surprise as well to see her dodge that flash in the first place. But then this one, this round, where she's avoiding it entirely, staying out of backhaul, showing herself in backhaul so that they do go through that protocol, but then backing off entirely. Obviously, Dodo didn't have as many. She didn't have the weapon there. She didn't have a gun. She just probably didn't even have the double satchel. So not as big of a threat, but you see the approach. It's definitely some different protocols being run through by Complexity here.
Early lead for Complexity as Moist call a timeout. There's still the opportunity to right this ship. Now, I want to go back to the last time we saw these two teams play on this map. Moist didn't get very many attacking rounds, and it was due to the 8-4 deficit that they found themselves at half. They only played 6 of them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Moist only won 1 of them.
So, I mean, slightly on pace right now. They could do better than that pace that you had in the last game, but it's not even about that at this point. It's a new game. There's the... Jazzy has to put the wall way farther back because she got caught off guard there. Really nice play from Dodo.
This is also the second time. Remember, previously it was Heroics that saved the day. But this is the second time now that Jazzy's gone out to try to put the wall up, and the early aggression out from Moist causes problems.
Yeah, she's been getting picked early. But I will say, the last time they went for that double satchel down A with the fault line as well to pressure, 3 players from Complexity were there to receive. They were actually going for their own A main control. Coming into sewers, not going to find Claudia to put down that alarm bot. Re-clearing art. That's a huge pick. That's the spike. They know exactly how they were rotating through. They probably even know what strat Moist was running at this point.
On falls, but now they're dealing some considerable damage. Kara down to 11, Raze down to 60. Claudia weak as well.
I like re-clearing back through where Complexity just came from. So a lot of times, especially when teams are floating this hard, they're going to rotate around. I'm worried here about Lace's ult. If she can find a dart and a Hunter's Fury, she's going to go for the Hunter's Fury. And they have to fall off. Nice flash in the back of sight. And
But Dodo Nut in a more aggressive position and still by time for the spike to go down. Very well handled.
nice, deep Cosmic Divide as well. But the pressure coming through Art is the big thing here.
That should be a cue, though. How does Athena play this? Again, she has the utility to keep them at bay. Emilo with first, and now the neural theft.
Turret out.
That's going to be huge. And again, you see that lockdown invested, but I think all eyes fall onto Athena here. If she needs to use this utility,
Post not broken.
she'll be perfect. But holy smokes.
They have the breach ult again. She get to half, it's not going to come.
There it is.
No,
Not
not
half.
half.
You can be patient here, and she still has Emilo to help. The Molly's
Yeah.
going to zone her off,
They have
at
to
least
fall
for a
off.
little bit. Yeah. Well handled. And there was key investment here from Complexity. You got the Hunter's Fury out. You've got the lockdown out from Claudia as well.
Yeah, just looking at the first half of that other game that they played in, what was the qualification match? 4 at the time CLG Red, and now Moist. The pace is definitely better from the attack side here by them, but it's certainly not enough to withstand the attack side from Complexity that they had to face last time. So let's see if they can string together a couple more and make this match very interesting. Obviously, we were talking about, Bach was saying it's the exact same map pool as before, and Moist very favored in the other two. And if they can sneak this one away from them, that would be a massive shift up. Just on how this veto went.
Oh, it just entirely changes the conversation. You're absolutely right.
They are so reliant on this knife through to catch Sewers, to try to catch Claudia.
Speaking of which.
You see it almost every single round. And it's for good reason. Here, Raze is going to try to receive, and Claudia's actually leaning forward because the timing is so much later. That knife has gone out. And it will catch him.
Very well handled. Those small protocols open up so much of the map.
It didn't catch Raze though, and she just activated the Viper one way and fell off. So now Jazzykin's got this op. She was very good at this when she played for Cloud9 White.
She's going to have plenty of opportunities, plenty of targets to choose from. Will the first one land? No. And one is all she got. Off of that, you see Moist Mogul starting to thunder down long and raise back tight.
Down,
Getting the first Molly to avoid any of the aggression heading her way. If they pick up the op and reposition, or if they try to hold this, try to play this. Oh my goodness.
And the dart
That's
again.
10 seconds.
Seconds left.
Spike is down. They've got to do this very quickly, and there's still so many things that they haven't cleared.
Standing.
Is there going to be enough time?
Oh, she can grab one.
It's gonna be
Spike
so
planted.
close.
Doesn't have it.
Now Kara is left in this
One
team.
enemy remaining.
No way.
1v1 now. And Kara should have a very good idea of where Donut is because of the Roomba. And now the nade. Not able to land the shots though as Dodo gets 4.
What a swing. What an insane round from both Dodo and Raze. Ridiculous that they're just not able to get cleared out of backhaul there, and then dropping the smoke, dropping the molly too, right in front of her.
It's just so chaotic.
And you could see, because of how late that hit came, you didn't have the same double satchel. You weren't ready to pounce on that backhaul. You didn't have the same clearing that you've had when you've gone to B in other rounds. And also, it was Raze instead of Kara. And look, they're going back towards this A main aggression, but at the same time, Complexity's trying to receive it very well too.
No, Dodo Nut used the showstopper in the previous round. And they're back
with
to
the
the
wall.
3 point and looking for another. That is going to be good, but as he swings ahead of it.
Need that back.
Their entire intention there was slowing to catch Dodo Nut if they ended up going for the double satchel.
Yeah.
And then as well, when there was no double satchel, to try to push with that dart. And Jazzy does find one, but gets traded out. I'm not sure if that's totally worth. But they've been so good in these 4v4 situations. I'm just concerned to see Jazzy go down so frequently now at the beginning of the round.
Yeah. It could prove to be problematic, but for now, I set forward is Moist still has a couple of options. They have plenty of rifles to work with as well. No ults to their name, but time aplenty. not. There's so much complexity presence here, but Kara's the first to fall. Can Lace hold them back? Just able to get one.
One enemy remaining.
Continue to go back and forth,
Spike
and now
down
Claudia,
A.
who's on the opposite side of the map, has to rotate over and navigate this 1v2 with the spike planted.
Just tap the spike there, Emily
Eventually.
did. She's just waiting for Emluo to get in a position to actually
Spike
hold the
planted.
right side there, but Claudia's found a timing because of it.
One
Oh
enemy
no!
remaining.
Oh boy. Claudia's been filthy. She has farmed in this half. Can she do it again? A 1v1 with the Phantom
Turn out.
and utility. She's got the turret for one set. She has the alarm bot for the other. And there's just not a whole lot that Emluo has. She's going to have to dry swing. Problem is Claudia's guessing. She has no idea. Now position given away. Time short. Spam doesn't land. And the cards, the hand is forced. Claudia just has to stick with it. She's gotten it to half and she gets the kill. Claudia continues to farm.
Just consistent with it. And
Last
again,
round
former
in the
teammates,
half.
former team. Claudia, 15-5 at this point. She's only died in one extra round over the rounds
30
that Complexity has
seconds
actually tallied at this point.
One enemy
Excuse me,
remaining.
Moist has tallied against them. Ridiculous stuff from her. And again, that timing, because it took so long, you said it. You were hesitant there when Emily didn't plant the spike immediately. And it was for good reason, sure, but that extra time gave Claudia the ability to find the kill. Again, the slow, trying to find Dodo, but it's not. It's almost Jazzykin falling again. This time, Lace is much further advanced. And again, the same thing, 3 players up in A main is the counter to what Moist has been trying to do over and over.
Jazzy with no armor, feeling a lot of the pressure. Hearing the Sheriff shots rattle. And we're gonna see this knife out from Han. Again towards mid. You see the setup there. Emily's ready to push off of that. There's the knife.
Again, they're just avoiding this knife entirely with the, not only the no command coming up, but knowing as well.
Oh, that's clean.
They've evened things out here, but
Yeah.
they did break that alarm bot. Not that there's been many pivots off of it most of the time. A lot of times they're breaking and then going A anyways. This time we might see the first pivot back over towards B long. It's just
If you're-
Claudia, but there's still
30
nanoswarms
seconds
up there.
left.
Yeah, nanoswarms, the
Oh,
turret.
she hears it too right now. She hears everything that's running down below.
Either Kiev for the fault line, but
Want to
instead
fight it?
waits a little bit longer. Claudia sidesteps the stun. Is gonna get flashed though. Has to fall further back.
10 seconds left. Spike
Down here,
planted.
Emlo still doesn't have a weapon. It's still just the Sheriff. Could prove to be the difference maker. I mean, Claudia's just on.
Counter astral wall, they have to play in front of it. Emily's forced off of it too, so they're swinging all onto Han right now.
2v3 in favor of the defense. Spike ticking away though.
Blocking vision.
Last player standing.
And it all falls down on Emily. Not able to do it. Lace gets 3 on the round. Complexity get back to 8. And again, this is this is the exact same score, excuse me, mind you. Different halves, but the exact same score from the last time they played on this map.
Switching sides.
And that one definitely, I mean, again, improved attack side from Moist, but
Yeah.
the difficulties were not just on one half. And you were talking about it. How maybe it was just momentum from the
One
first
enemy
half by
remaining.
Complexity that ended up costing them that attack side. You have to wonder and maybe doubts
Enemy remaining.
the plan to stick with the same exact map pool.
One enemy remaining.
Here from actually both sides, honestly. I think both sides are hurting just because this Pearl is coming out first for Moist, though. That's why everybody's a little concerned. But again, they won Fracture, they won Ascent last time. We went to 3 maps. And we're referring to the open qualifier game. Right. Second half of that open qualifier, where Complexity played against former CLG Red, that is Moist right now. And it was a qualification match that got them here in the first place.
Now Complexity on the attack. And Moist back to the half that was statistically more successful than their attacking side the previous time around. Jazzy
Right.
behind the wall gets a spike down.
So we've got to see a plan here. pretty much immediately against this type of B plan. When you have a Sage on this map, you end up having a tendency to play over it. Dodo's actually just satcheled out on the site. They've retaken this really fast, but still haven't breaking the wall.
Right, but I mean, now they get through a panel. There's just so much utility they're going to have to deal with. They have full long control.
Good nade. Good stun as
Good
well.
nade, good fault line, yeah. This could prove to be problematic. You've got the mollies out from Raze. You've got the spam through the smokes as well. They may have established some control, but it's far from over. 3v3 here for the site. On, got it in half. That's all it is.
Player standing.
Nade still in the end.
That was tough to track, but Dodo actually picked up 2 kills after that initial nade that cleared them out of behind pillar, which actually allowed them to get up towards half in the first place. She gets 2 kills after that, is able to follow up with another nade. That could have ended the round. I mean, straight up, because the mollies were used so early by both Claudia and Raze. I think they might have stacked them up. But either way, Complexity with the second pistol now in this game. And there is trouble now for Moist.
10-4, very likely on the horizon for Complexity. We did see some pretty insane pistol kills in the previous half, so perhaps there's opportunity for more of that here, but it's just classic Spala. No armor either.
Yeah,
Nothing.
This one's tough. Reclearing A, Complexity doing such a good job playing a deep anti-eco setup as well, so they receive that. That'll get really close to her ult, though. So at least one checkbox in the is this eco successful checklist.
It doesn't look like it's getting much further down that list. We're going to see very similar plans to what we saw in the previous round. That same wall up, and Kara getting the spike down this time.
Opponent's killed.
Nice, Jazzy too.
Yeah, very well
One
played.
enemy remaining.
Just covering all the different possibilities. Little jump outs there from that deep smoke that could cause problems. And remember, Dodo did jump on that box last time. So could have taken down the planner if that same thing happened. But you're right, this is exactly what was expected on this round 10-4 scoreline. And we've got to see a complete shift on this defense here from Moist. One thing is, again, that breach Raze combination is kind of where you expect this type of composition to go, but much more difficult here, I think, on the defense even. You're not going to have that same double satchel impact unless you're going for a very aggro play like up A main, like we saw in the first half. And it's a lot harder to find value out of breach in general on this map because of the flashes, but also the stuns. The lines that you have are not as effective on this.
Toxins going up.
Maybe that'll be enough to delay, though. The utility that you were just referring to. Right on cue. See that fault line. Chooses to hold it for now, though.
Yeah, she's trying to play off the camera. And yeah, she saw Claudia jiggle peeking there, but once the camera spots her all the way in, that's a guaranteed stun there. Rather than just scaring them off. So she's actually backed off the angle anyways. We get a deep alarm bot here from Complexity. And that's compared to what was happening for Moist on that first half. They were breaking the alarm bot, not leaving anything, and there was oftentimes reflanks through sewers to Art.
Yeah, I mean, but this time they hadn't cleared Art to begin with.
30 seconds left.
Claudia's already falling.
There's the
That
stun.
nade's gonna be good. And Dodo has ult.
They're
How
grouped up
cheeky do
too.
you get?
She's
Yeah,
not completely sold on the idea that they're hitting this A site, and it might have just costed her life, but not the round. Lace still has control though.
10 seconds left.
But with 10 seconds left, they've got to commit to the spike here very soon. And they still haven't dealt with all of the pressure coming in from spawn.
A.
It's just not going to be enough.
They're both close though. Chasing down the kills. Yeah, it's not fast enough. Just not fast enough. So that's a good round for Moist. That's the type of time wasting that you gotta have. And also that re-clear, just worried about Dodo and the ult. That was why they were pushing back against her. They didn't want that ult to just take down the spike with the low amount of time left. So I think it might have been maybe the right play to go chase her down, but you have to have somebody trying to commit to the spike.
10-5, and given how close Complexity are to closing out this map, this almost feels like a must-win round for Moist. And they want to go aggressive. They want to dictate the pace. And they pushed him off. They bought time.
This early
they bought
ult,
space.
it's so far back. It's right off the barrier. That Complexity just has the option to fall back there as long as they realize where she's coming from and they don't get stuck with a lot more utility. And while it did get Dodo the A main control that she was asking for, I don't know if it got her much else. The Complexity wants to re-clear this. Last time it was a problem for time, so might have been completely worth it because it's 1 minute where they're joining back through A main.
Yeah, I think there are two things at play here. It's the time and then also the fact that now, for example, we just saw the drone is not an option anymore. As they decide what site they want to hit or what space they want to take, that bit of engaged utility is no longer on the cards.
And I'm interested as well. Kara's got 2 stars over at B. She's not going to use them at all. They're just going to walk out on the A with the Sage Wall.
30 seconds left.
They're so close to each other. The flash to the smoke causes problems.
You are divided.
Silence.
And then you've got a really light flank coming in too from Claudia. The position here for Complexity is very nice.
Healing.
And they just get off. There's nothing to block the spike. Emily still doesn't have any stars recalled yet, so not even a smoke able to go down on A main or the spike. Probably a few seconds until that does come back up, but I'm wondering with those stars that were on B, if she even has them recall. Yeah, there's one now they're saving though, because it just took so long. So the opposite problem here. Complexity is the one who runs down the time.
This will get Complexity to 11, and Ball, you know, it's not over, but you know, we've had a lot of conversation around the decision really from both of these teams to go back to the exact same maps that they played in their previous matchup. But more so here, I want to focus on Pearl, because again, it was 13-5 in favor of Complexity the last time they played on Pearl, and it seems like a 13-5 may seem very possible. I respect wanting to go for the exact same thing, a bit of a confidence play to really make a statement, to really set the pace on the series, but this has just gone horribly sideways.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much time to swap things up entirely. I'm curious how exactly, like, what would have happened if either team went away from their permas? Whether or not that's like an option for either team to pick into them, but
Sure.
you might have just ended up with both teams having their permas out and just having the same situation, so.
Toxins going up.
I wonder as well if the comp specifically out of Complexity is the slow pace control that they have, the ability to default so well on this attack side, and to get a basically guaranteed plant every time against this composition for Moist. If that's the reality that's causing this situation.
Toxins going up.
And if this is working really well for Moist in practice against other teams.
Oh, they're close by. They played off of the flash. That was well done, but not able to deliver on the kill.
That's 2 big entries right away. Spike down again on demand. Nice pick from Athena. Just gotta wait for the stun. Yeah, but there's... Oh, I see. The idea there is to try to get an aftershock, but she misses the aftershock.
Yeah, that was intended for Pillar, and there was someone playing. I believe there were 2 players right behind it.
Toxin screen down.
If they're
And now
stunned,
Raze
that's
is able to
impossible
play
get out of
back. They have all of their mollies too. This is almost impossible.
And they tapped, didn't even use the grab wall yet.
One enemy
Suppression
remaining.
up though. And this looks like another round here for Complexity. Athena can't do much when getting tagged by a turret, and there was still grab wall, and there were still mollies out.
And there were 4
Match
players of
point.
Complexity.
And the money's broken here from Moist too. Bulldog is the best they're gonna get. Maybe you could call the Marshall the best they can get there, but things are looking dire here. We might have exactly the same scoreline from the previous engagement here on Pearl.
Scanning ahead.
What can Moist do to keep this map going? With the Marshall, with the Bulldog. what options do they have? Lace has just gotten a step closer to the Hunter Shuri. It doesn't look good.
Complexity, I mean, I've seen many things here that just speaks to the preparation that they had. After already knowing what Moist has been running on this map, after already having experienced it, just shocking down that Cypher trip very early.
Yeah. Not finding anything, but Emlo does.
They've got to continue fighting here. This res is going to come up. So all that trade, all for nothing, essentially. They didn't even get a gun off of it.
Nope. I thought for a moment Claudia was just being rezzed to die again, but...
Now they fell off.
Yeah.
And we're going to see another situation. No, they're heading Doug. Look, they're already up in sight with the Bulldog, too.
Oh gosh! Oh, good!
Down A. 30 seconds left.
They're still able to push through it, and now the pit, you're going to have to navigate around. Just a momentary pause in the action as the spike now goes down. It all falls onto Emily.
Marshall into a pit.
Yeah, and into 3. I don't know if the situation's... Yeah, I don't know if they get more dire than that. You have a wall you have to go around. That's miserable. I can think of a few worse instances to be in than that one. But Complexity once again...